Pikes Peak in Colorado. A summit of 4,300 meters, an area of outstanding natural beauty. But it's also the location for the second oldest auto race in the United States, affectionately known as the Race to the Clouds.
It's an absolutely stunning place to be. It just lives up to its reputation.
All kinds of vehicles from quad bikes to race cars pit their engines against the high altitude course. A record time was set by Sebastian Loeb, who managed it in 8 minutes 11 seconds back in 2013 with Red Bull.
This hill is just a real killer. 156 turns, 12.5 miles.
There's a lot more risk of crashes and falling off the side of the mountain. Also the weather and the elements are a huge factor. And also that it's a mountain road. It's nowhere near the controlled environment that a race circuit would be.
It's race day at Pikes Peak. Race day starts really early. The crew gets here about 2 a.m. We start getting the car prepped.
California-based mobility company Faraday Future is here to compete against the mountain with its production car, the FF91.
It's for sure a beast. 1,050 horsepower. It's 0 to 60, 2.3 seconds. Hooks up real quick, and then on the hill, it's fantastic out of the hairpin bends. It really picks up speed quickly. But the car itself is a big luxury SUV, so it becomes a bit harder to drive.
Faraday Future has entered the FF91 in the exhibition class, where it will be performing against the Acura TLX, a combustion engine car.
There are no other electric cars on the hill, and that gives us some advantage and some disadvantage. We've got a huge battery pack in the car. That battery pack also supplies a huge amount of power to the propulsion system. On the downside, it's really heavy, and we've got to carry that battery pack right to the top of the hill.
For all of our vehicles that running internal combustion, we're always having to work very hard against the fact that we're constantly losing oxygen as we get to the top of the mountain, and so we're always losing power. So we have to be very creative with how we set our cars up to compensate for that. An electric car doesn't have that necessity. They're always making the power that they make at sea level here. So really, as far as performance goes, they really are the top, I think.
At last year's hill climb, a Tesla Model S broke the record for production electric vehicles with a time of 11 minutes 48 seconds. It's a point of pride for Faraday to try to better this achievement, but the real mission?
As long as that laptop's running, and that is to collect the information we need to help develop our car, to bring a better car to production, give a better customer experience, that's what we want from this weekend. We're not worried about the time. There is a Tesla benchmark of 11:48, which I think is a great reference for us to compare ourselves against.
And now it's time for that benchmark to be reset. Crowds have been camped out on the mountainside all weekend to witness this attempt.
He's been gaining time on the Acura the whole time up the hill.
The FF91 makes it in 11 minutes 25 seconds, which is 22 seconds slower than the Acura TLX, but it's 23 seconds quicker than the Tesla Model S in 2016.
I mean, this is a really fantastic result, and we know we got a solid car still at the top of the hill. The team's feeling a little mixed emotions, but mostly feeling a lot of relief and really great.
The Race to the Clouds has left the Faraday Future team on cloud 9.
Probably I'm going to go and grab a beer, maybe a cheeky cocktail, something like that, a little bit of a celebration.
Car manufacturers are still on a steep learning curve about what electric cars can do.